Hello again, everybody. Sorry, this is the third time I haven't recorded this video. For whatever reason, my screen recorder is throwing me curveballs. So let's try this again. All right, so like I said, good morning, everyone. This is July 19th, and it's now almost 9:30 Central. I've been recording this thing for the last, like, I don't know, 45 minutes, but I keep on running into technical errors. But here I am trying to get this information to y'all. So first off, everyone's here and wants to see the money and whatnot. Well, I traded ES this morning. 20 contracts, made 275 on each one, which came out to about $5.5 thousand this morning. Not bad for early morning, and now I can go about and get ready for the day. Not to mention starting paternity leave. So if you're part of the Simpler Central room, I'll still pop in and be around, but I won't be as active. But yeah, so solid morning. Let's talk about the setup and kind of like what I was looking at. And so if we want to go from the top down, right? Well, before I do that, let's talk about the trade and the time. That way, you kind of see the context before doing it. So it was one trade. You see, I got in at 55.92.25 at 8:39. I was in the trade for only a minute and 30 seconds. Got out at 8:40 at 55.97.75 for $2.75 for $275 per contract. All right, so a one and done type of day. Nothing's better than a one and done on a Friday. So, so that's the trade. Now, what's the process? It's always process driven, right? Okay, so first off, something to note as I checked the economic data, there was nothing on the list today. There is, so Europeans, the Britain, the Canadian, Australia, so all that, nothing really in the US. So that brings me to think two things. First off, today is OPEX, options expiration, monthly expiration, so things are going to be opening, closing, things could be choppy today potentially. And then it's also there's no data which is going to push the market anywhere, which means that it may be a low volatility day. So that makes me think short targets, be quick in and out, and then just let them be quick in and out and be happy with the profits you kind of get. There's no reason to over push it. It's Friday. And so going from there, so that has my thesis of things being choppy. And as you can see, I was right on the yes. Like this thing is just chopping in a tight square. All right, so first thing I do is I go from big picture down. If you're part of Simple Central, y'all guys have heard me say this over and over. Big picture matters, and then you narrow it down. The main thing is obviously the ES had a major swing high since on the 17th. It's been going down ever since. This red line and a purple line, so the purple line is anchored VWAP since the contract roll, is when this ESU 4 has become the front month. So that tells me that's when the most volume starts stepping up into this contract. So this is the balance of buyers and sellers. And also this red line, I'm not sure what the data was, but all my economic data anchored VWAPs are red because they're important. But you see this one is, whoops, I don't want to move that. I'll have to fix that later. Was obviously from all the way over here. So, all right. Sorry for the little pause there. Got disrupted by my kiddo. But yes, that is an anchor view up there, an economic data one. Another thing worth noting is, okay, so there's this level of support here. We did kind of get spiked down. We did kiss the top of this resistance. I guess I technically could grab this and take it up to these tops. And you see the wicks are respecting that level there. So this is a level of support. Buyers come in, sellers came back in overnight, and then it just popped back up, hit 5600, which is the hourly 21 EMA. I do like to use the hourly as my guide, really. I like to be with the trend of the the hourly time frame, right? And I did take a long today, but I went long into that level, looking for it to actually that was my target, and so there was this quick scalp, and you can see it's also resistance right here at 5600. All right, so that's big picture. All right, so little picture, what happened? All right, so this blue line is the anchored VWAP for when the overnight session occurred, right? So I guess we'll call it the full session. And so from there, the economic data anchor VWAP was holding, the contract rule anchor VWAP was holding, and then when price, and this was at the opening, kind of chopped around, and then whenever price started to reclaim the VWAP at 92.25, right? Or yes, was actually, let's double check that. When exactly did I take it? All right, 92.25. That's when I was filled. 92.25. So about right here. All right, so this level started to be reclaimed. That's when I got long, and I started to go long for two reasons. Price was reclaiming the anchored VWAP, and my stop was at the low of that candle. And also, another thing I was watching was the book map, and I was looking at this as a guide to let me know if these sellers can get out of the way. So you see all these red lines right here. I'll change the color so you see all these lines right here. So these are limit orders waiting to be sold. And what I did know as anchored VWAP was being reclaimed, or as the VWAP was being reclaimed, we're getting a bunch of green bubbles showing me that volume's being filled. This candle right here absorbed all of those orders right there. And I was all right, so let's get long, stop at the low of those anchored of that candle that is triggering me long. And then my target was, you remember that there's sellers up at 5,600, and then you don't see it now because these orders came up and took them all out, but there was sellers lined up as it headed into 5,600. So all right, cool. So I'm okay with taking it long into 5,600 into these limit orders, and I wanted to be out by then. You gotta remember, I was thinking, I had a thesis of a choppy market because of OPEX. There was no catalyst today that could push things around. So it's purely technical, and I'm okay with going small size, having a short leash, and getting in and getting out with the trade. So, like I said, broke out, started to push up into my target, and my target was the 5,600 level. And I do want to get out before we get to the level, right? And if we look here, if I crunch it, you can see how we just keep on hitting this level and failing. And then you go over here in the 15-minute time frame, see we just keep on coming to this level, and we can't get away from it. And so I want to get out to B for it. Don't be a D for a T or a dick for a tick if you're not familiar with what that means. As price was coming up, I was like, all right, close enough. Going to get out before this thing fails on me hardcore because it was early in the morning. Early morning volatility can get everywhere, and I wanted a quick scalp. So that was really the trade there. I saw the orders being eaten up on the order book. I wanted to, when price reclaimed the VWAP, my stop, my long, my target. And so bam, 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 in and out. And now I don't have to sit through all this, which is wonderful because that is frustrating. But that's really the trade. Bounced off of the contract roll anchor VWAP, reclaimed VWAP. Order book showed limit orders being eaten up with sell orders sitting up near 56. And just, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just let it ride. I hope that makes sense. That's really all it was. Nothing too fancy. But that was really it. Yeah, hopefully I'm describing this in a sensible and digestible manner, but that's really it. It's really been my bread and butter here lately, and I'm just going to keep at it until it doesn't work anymore. And hopefully it just keeps working because this is pretty awesome. But y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. Enjoy y'all's weekend. As time permits, I'll potentially put out more videos while I'm on pat leave and whatnot. But y'all have a great day and weekend, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Take care, everybody.